Interviews, what's changed since your last interview? Get comfortable with the video. Get comfortable doing what I just had to do. Oh my gosh, my sound sounds terrible. Can you just log back out and get right back in? Sure, no problem. You act frazzled, the person on the other end is going to go, their technology skills aren't good. I'm not hiring them. Get used to sharing your screen. Get used to asking questions through the chat. Um, Most of your first interviews and even your second interviews post-COVID, I can guarantee are going to be through a Zoom-like platform. So get used to the lighting. Find the room in your house at the time that your interview is scheduled that makes you look your best. Look into that camera. Super important. There's a lot of behavioral interviews. Those are the hardest. Those are common. That is when you can't fake your answer or BS your answer. It's asking you to give a example of in your past about a specific time when you did something. So a behavioral interview question often starts with, tell me about a time when. Like, tell me about a time when you had to handle a difficult customer service issue. What was the problem and what did you do to resolve it? You got to stop and pause and think and come back with a specific example. The more accomplishments you have on your resume, or the more bank of accomplishments you have in a Word document, the easier it is to be able to answer interview questions like behavioral interviews. How do you handle your gap? You start with your skills. You start with your successes. You start with your accomplishments. So what do you bring to the table? If you talk about your gap, you are super brief about it. You are always positive about it, and you are never apologetic. So the story doesn't go, well, I've been out of the workforce for 10 years. I left because I had a health issue, and then my mother got sick, and then I ended up having a child. You don't want to do that. You basically say, I had the opportunity to take a career break. Time was right. My company was being sold, for example, and the time was right for me to leave. I had this great opportunity, but I am so eager to get back in. And I really think that I can add value doing X. And then you go right on to your skills and successes. And if somebody brings you back to that gap and expresses concerns, you bring them back to your skills and back to what it is that you want to do. And you always express that you have support in place or that you are ready to go back. So if you left the work for caregiving purposes or for health purposes, the issue has been resolved. That's what the employer wants to know. They don't need to know the details of why and all of that. They just need to know that you're ready to get back in and that you have support in place.